the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, today we're going to talk about music. We're going to show a little music. We're going to talk about what is happening and what can happen if music will prevail as it once did when our guest was playing with the Shy-Lights. Talking about Jesse Richardson.
How you
doing,
sir?
Jesse?
I'm doing great.
You worked with Marshall Thompson at Shy-Lights after after Eugene left or before?
After. Yeah, I did the Soul Train cruise with him a few years ago. It was a remarkable experience.
I can imagine, especially that's when he had the problem, medical problem. Yeah.
Yes.
I've always felt that he'll come out of it. I think he'll come out. He's strong-willed.
He's doing good.
He's very strong-willed.
He gets around and he's a strong man. Yeah.
So, but tell us about your experience in music. What made you get into music?
Well, I was born in a house of music. My grandfather played piano and sang. My grandmother played piano. I had an uncle. His name was Joe Bass, rest his soul. He played guitar. And I just, music was always in the house. And so we always had pianos and guitars and horns and stuff around the house. And so you just naturally just...
Kids in that environment can't do anything else but be a musician.
Right.
I often wonder, how does Stevie Wonder become so massively big in the industry? And then, found out he played piano when he was 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
They had to take him, put him up on the stool, and stand, play anything you heard on the radio.
Yeah.
Anything you heard on the radio, you play it, just like they play it.
Yeah.
And why? Because he started from here, when he was in the belly.
Right.
Hearing his mother and father play the piano and sing, and, music was just a part of him.
Right.
But see, I don't know if he took advantage of it purposely or if it's just a freak of nature. What do you think?
I think it's more of a freak of nature. We are, as humans, are environmental people, and we adapt to what we're around.
Right.
We adapt to our surroundings.
Right.
And if you grow up in a house full of music, 9 out of 10, it's going to bring it out of you. And that's what I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of great people when I grew up. And
you just see children like that, Nat King Cole's daughter, Natalie.
Yeah.
She, Jesse Jackson's son, brother, brought her to me and told me, W, we got Nat King Cole's daughter. We just did a record on her. We want to, you be the person that, to play it.
Yeah.
I said, she said, I want her to come on the show with you, but she can't lip sync, but she can sit and talk to you while the record is playing. I said, okay, man, bring her on. So she brought that little girl on. That was the first big hit.
Yeah.
That was a big hit.
Wow.
I can't remember the name of it now, but that was her first record that she did alone. But, then you could just hear her voice and know that she is music.
Yeah. Natalie was a great talent.
Yeah, she was just music.
Yeah.
All the way.
Remarkable.
So, we could talk about Michael Jackson. Okay?
Yeah.
His dad bought them instruments and told them to get in there and learn the instruments, Yeah. He was a great musician. He played with bands, and it was in their system. So
right. Yeah, that's how it happens. When it's in the house. You listen to a lot of the great singers. Their parents would sing in church or something like that, and they'd sing around the house all the time. When I was a kid, my grandfather owned a barbecue shop at 519 47th Street, which was by the old Regal.
Right.
So when I was a little boy, we help sweep up, because I was with grandparents all the time, and B.B. King and Smokey Robinson and
all
those
stars.
big stars would come in the barbecue shop because it was at that time it was the only barbecue shop around. So the hickory was smelling good in the neighborhood, and I just grew up, thinking that we were famous too because they all came by and they all knew my grandfather, and it was a remarkable situation. And then he had a friend, his best friend, a guy by the name of John Sanford. So John would come by late at night, and my grandfather would cook like it was Thanksgiving. I mean, homemade sausages and spaghetti and turkeys and fried chicken and what are the works, right? Mm-hmm. And they would play, and my grandfather would play the piano, and they would sing. They would smoke these green cigars and drink JB Scotch. Turns out my Uncle John was actually Red Fox.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and I didn't know that for years. I didn't know that he was famous. He was just Uncle John, and they come by, and the more scotch they drank, they sent us to bed. And me being the bad little boy I was, I'd sneak out, get under the dining room table, and I'd get caught every time because eventually they'd tell a joke and I would get it, and I'd laugh and get busted and then get sent to bed. But I grew up in a house full of entertainment. That's how our family was, and so playing bass was just a natural.
Well, I started to say believer, but I'm knowledgeable. I'm knowledgeable of the fact that kids learn inside the belly.
Yeah, I believe that.
And doctors even tell the parent that start talking to the child while it's in the belly because you start training them early. They can understand. Yeah. They hear you.
Right.
But nobody believes it. Nobody does it.
I did it.
You did.
I got my two youngest,
Mm-hmm.
Anela and Jaden. One will be 18 in September. The other just turned 16. When they were in the belly, we had this thing that my wife used to wear, and I would play like Coltrane and Miles Davis and David Sanborn, a little George Clinton, some Steve Arrington and Slade, And as my kids, when they came out, they like music, and I used to record at the house, and I'd have some of the guys would come by, and if it was good, my kids would sit there quietly in the corner at the studio. They sit there, nice and quiet. But if it wasn't good, they start making noise. So they became the gauge for the guys. The guys would come over, and if the kids wasn't there, well, hold on, where's the kids? Well, they had my mother-in-law.
They need a barometer.
Well, we gotta come back then. We come back when the kids are here because they wanted to know if the kids was quiet. They learned they had something good going on there. So, it's got to be in the house to manifest and keep it going.
Right. Well, what do you see? Where do you see music going right now? Since we don't have the instruments we had before, like the record companies, the promotion companies, and all that.
Yeah.
You saw the little kid. I call him a little kid, but the guy from here. What's his name? The one who put up the money for the woman to run for mayor.
Oh, Chance.
Chance the rapper.
Well, that's some interesting stuff. The kids nowadays are music is going back to earlier cycles. There's been a resurgence of funk music, all right, with some of the music that Chance, he has funk underlines in that, and Bruno Mars and people like that. But some of these younger kids, like in their mid to early 20s, they're going back to those bebop days, and those kids are playing music for real.
Right.
And so it's coming full circle. So, I might have to dust off the upright,
What amazes me is he turned down all the record companies.
Right.
He sold them himself through the internet.
Right.
He said, people selling through the internet now. Why do I need you?
Exactly.
And he made millions.
You know, that's another thing. We got to credit Prince, and there's a local guy named Frank Oral. He has a band called Poi Dog Ponders. These guys like that decided, okay, if I can take care of my own distribution, and the internet helps us with that, I don't necessarily need a label, because I can record the music on my own. So now you have total control of your music. On the internet, you can have this, you can set it up where you can get your money first. So instead of giving iTunes 30% of $1, you can get 100% of $1.
Well, if you're going through like Amazon or going through one of the companies, you don't mind giving them 10%. You know.
Right. You don't mind giving them 10%.
Right.
But if you were able to connect with the same base, and you don't have to give them 10%, if you can get the same base, then those 10% that add up. Them 10 pennies you keep giving them. You sending somebody kid to college.
I wish I give you 2%, and I hope like hell you make me give you $5 million. If I give you $500 million, how much money have I made?
That means you had to make at least $95 million.
100, right? So, you know, I know Chance had to pay somebody something on the internet.
Yeah, but somebody always gets something.
Yeah, so if you got to pay your little dollars out to get back the majority of your talent.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing.
He's doing great things.
Great young man.
I like that young man. He's doing great things with kids, helping with education, helping motivate kids that want to go to school. Those are great things, you know, and it's coming from the younger generation. It's, you know, I'm 56, so I look at him as he's a young guy, you know, and I like to see that kind of stuff.
I love it, man, because you know, I tried for years to get black people to settle down and use your talents and your skills to let's take over this country. We're the majority of the country.
Yeah.
But we let folks tell us we're not. Oh, no. You know, they consider us 3/5 of a human. Ah, baloney. Who considers? Nobody's that stupid. Say somebody's 3/5 of a human.
Right.
What are you trying to say? Whoever made that statement is stupid? That's in the Constitution. I had somebody tell me it's in the Constitution, huh?
And that don't mean they believe what they put in there.
Well, I believe everything they put in there, but interpretation is the operative word. He told me, haven't you read this Constitution? Yeah, I read it, but I never read that. Well, I wish I had the Constitution here, so I asked somebody, bring me the Constitution up to the stage. Brought me the Constitution. I turned to the page. I knew he was talking about. I said, tell me where it says you're 3/5 of a human. And he so boldly read the 3/5 compromise.
Yeah.
I said, I'm waiting. He said, what? I just read it to you. I said, no, I told you to read to where they say you're 3/5 of a human. What if you're only counting 3/5 of you? That's what they consider you 3/5 of a human. I said, they're counting 3/5 of the number of people, not the body. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
See, but they got a number of our academians spreading that gossip around, and people think, hey, this person is big shot in education, he's PhD or whatever they may be. You know, you believe them when they say crazy stuff like that.
So, yeah, sometimes they can be believable. It depends on again the interpretation.
You know, it's just like a lot of the churches. They have a bunch of junk in churches that shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. You're right.
And well, we believe in the good book, but did you read the good book right?
Exactly. Exactly.
You could interpret something completely backwards from what it actually means. And I explained it to the gentleman. I said, I wasn't just explaining it to him, I was explaining it to the audience. I know a lot of folks say the same thing. They still consider us 3/5 human. I said, well, this says that this right here, the 3/5 compromise, shows that the vast number of people in America were black.
That's true.
When they sent the numbers in to the North, the numbers were to determine how many congressmen they would have in the states, in the various states.
Okay.
And when they sent the numbers in to the South, North said, wait a minute, they're trying to cheat us. They don't have this many people. Oh man, look at this. They would have all the congressmen if we turn all these people in. so they said, the guy said, well, let's go and talk to them. So they went back to the South, called a meeting of all the states, and explained, you got to be fair here now. We asked you to count the number of people in the state, and we would determine how many congressmen each state would have. You people sent in all these numbers.
Right.
We sent the number of people that you said the number of people. We sent the number of all the people in the state. And they said, you don't have this many people. We got your tax numbers. We got your tax information. He said, we don't pay taxes on all our people. Who don't you pay taxes on? The slaves.
The slaves, right.
He said, well, you can't count them if you don't pay taxes on them. He said, well, I'll tell you what. Take your union and stick it. Okay?
That's what happened.
We don't want the union anyway because you're the one insisting on unifying the country. And now you're going to tell us that we can't count our people. So, stick it. He said, wait, let's compromise here. So that's what they came up with, the 3/5 compromise. I know you don't want to pay taxes on all those people, right?
Right.
No. If you don't want to pay taxes on all those people, then just count 3/5 of them for taxes and 3/5 for representation. Okay, we'll go for that. So they weren't going to count no 3/5, they counted half.
Right,
maybe
exactly.
half.
Exactly.
And they still had the most by just counting half.
Right.
So the vast majority of the people in the country then were black. We multiplied faster than anybody else,
Yes.
except the Mexicans.
Right.
Okay, but now we were here already, so therefore we had the greater majority. Now they planted in a lot of academians' heads about the 3/5 compromise. Okay. Your people are still considered 3/5 of a human, and they kept planting that in those academians' head, and the academians are spreading it. So the average black person, oh yeah, they consider us 3/5 of human. I don't believe it, but they consider that. I mean, they don't have any respect for you when they consider you 3/5 of a human. I said, man, y'all are so pitiful.
Right.
So pitiful. They have those kind of concepts. Read and discern. The 3/5 compromise is right there in the Constitution. It says, for the sake of creating congressmen for the various states, we will count the whole number of free people.
Right.
No Indians because they're not taxed. And 3/5 of all other people.
Okay.
And that 3/5 of all other people were slaves because they had counted all the slaves, they would have had all the congressmen because they had the greater number of people.
Right.
And like I say, by us multiplying faster than anyone else, we didn't decrease in numbers, we just increased in numbers much faster than anybody else.
Exactly.
So we're still a majority of the country.
Exactly.
But you're a minority, 3/5 of a human, you're...
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand what the whole, like you just explained, what
Right.
the whole purpose of that was.
So, I almost gave up on the whole subject.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can't, because I say, I can't leave my people out there like that with that convoluted thought in their head
Okay.
about themselves. Nobody think that about you,
Right.
And, well, white folks don't like black folks anyway. Are you crazy? Who was the first two people? Who were the first people to die in Mississippi during the civil rights campaign? Two white guys
That's
and a
right.
black guy
Yeah.
who were in Mississippi campaigning for blacks to be registered to vote.
Right.
Who marched with King over the Pettus Bridge and all the other marches in Mississippi, marches through the South? There was as many whites marching as there were blacks marching.
Yes, it was.
So ain't no such thing as white folks hate black folks.
Right.
And we know we love white folks. We don't love ourselves. We love white folks.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. No.
But it's sad. It's sad that we can't just love everybody.
Yeah.
But like you said, Am is better than Nam.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So we do have some support,
Right.
some support. But it just so happened, man. I don't know. You don't remember the Straight Talk Economic Roundtable that we started some years back.
No.
The Straight Talk Economic Roundtable was designed to empower the black community economically.
Okay.
How do we do that? I was Jesse's bodyguard for a number of years. We still have a guard on Jesse now. But as his bodyguard, I traveled with him, and I saw the big fallacy of our people, not shopping and trading with one another, spending all that money. And I had a meeting with the Labor Department, and they pointed out that the blacks in Chicago was making and spending $50 billion a year.
Wow.
And he said every $1 billion creates 50,000 full employment jobs. I'm talking about not minimum wage, full employment.
Full employment.
I said, wow. I said, so if they just spent half that 50 million in our community, we don't have that many black businesses. I said, you got businesses in the community, okay? Yeah. Spend half the money in the community, but let the owners know we're creating jobs for our community. We don't want to see people in here from other communities.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, some of the owners are going to say, well, my cousin works here. It's okay for my cousin to work. No, if your cousin doesn't live in the community, he can't work in the store. Simple as that. Okay. We're going to put billions of dollars through these businesses in order to create jobs for the community, not jobs for outside the community. Once we fill up all of our job needs, then we can bring other people in, affirmative action.
Right.
Now, we would, first off, you would have more black business people coming back into the community and opening businesses. You had a president of, at one time, I think he's retired now, but president of American Express, black man. Xerox Corporation, black woman. Mm-hmm. Presidents, I can't name them all right now, but I know quite a few black presidents of large corporations, billion-dollar corporations. But they know business and they run those businesses. But the people that were running businesses in the black community were not really business people.
Okay.
Just someone who felt, I got some money now, I'm going to open me a business. Then he doesn't know how to maintain that business. He doesn't know how to get customers to come into the business. He thinks he's supposed to act like a big shot and look down his nose at the people that he's trying to sell to. One guy told me once, I was looking for a neighbor. I showed him a picture, and said, maybe you know this guy. He lives next door, but there's no name or on the bells or the mailboxes, sort of. I don't know how to find him. I don't know about these little old folks around here. I'm a businessman.
Wow.
I said, he was in the store by himself, wiping down the shelves and wiping off cans. I said, no wonder this store is empty. This man is looking down his nose at the people he's trying to sell to.
Right. There's no way to do business.
Yes. And that sparked me to start this organization. I said, I need to see if I could teach these people. I found out you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. Business people are born. They went to business school. No, they didn't have anything to do with their humans.
Right.
Okay? They were born with a business mentality, a business sense. They would go in right away, pick it up, and make it work.
Right.
But that individual who's lazy, sit around, want to work on a job, he doesn't want to work. Well, I own my own business, I don't have to work. This guy got a $3 million settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at the sheriff's office, but I was paying one of my employees almost double what I was making in the sheriff's office to run my business for me while I was doing this. And he said, this guy told me, he said, man, I just got a $300,000 settlement. He said, I'm gonna quit working and open my business. I'm tired of working. I said, wait a minute. I said, you're kind of backwards there, aren't you?
You're going to work harder opening your own business.
I said, you're going to work harder for yourself than you ever work for anybody else. I said, that's just a rule of thumb. He said, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm tired of this working stuff. I'm going to open me a business. I said, okay. He opened a business and quit the sheriff's office. And he was gone for all of 3 or 4 months before he come back. And I got my job back. All the money's gone.
Yeah. Taxes is going to get half of it.
Yeah.
39.9% first.
Plus, I don't think, see, a real business person, like, you're familiar with Chatham Foods, right?
Yes.
Now, when Leonard was there, the people loved him so much that they kept that little store like this at all times. You had to squeeze through the store.
Yeah.
I said, man, he was a consummate businessman, but he was a scary businessman.
Okay.
I said, you got space next door. Why don't you have to, buy that space or rent it or whatever you want to do and expand this business, man, so people can get around, walk around this door. You got it all packed up here. Man, I can't make it no larger. I need to keep it so I can keep an eye on it. I said, wow, with all this business sense that he has, he's still paranoid about some people stealing from him or taking from him.
Right.
He come to the meeting, Chatham Pool was right across the street from, well, not directly across the street, but down the street from Captain's Hard Time where we had our meetings. He would come to the meetings on Thursday morning, stay for about a half hour. He said, I got to go, W.L. I said, why are you rushing, man? He said, I got a shipment coming in. I said, don't you have a receiving clerk? He said, yeah, but I got to be there and watch him. Make sure. I said, man, you can't watch everything. I said, you do the paperwork. You know how much you have coming, and if you don't make that much money, you take it out of his check. Make sure that you know that that he knows that you know how to keep books, and if things don't add up right, it's got to be you. Yeah. Man, I don't have time for all that. Let's watch over. I tried to get him to open a chain because, he had, people loved him. They stuck with him, I said, you should open a chain of supermarkets. Man, I can't control nothing like that. I said, you think Mr. Jewell is sitting around trying to control all those stores they own all over the country? Or A&P is trying to control all those stores they own all over the country? I said, man, that's ridiculous. That's not me, man. That's them. I'll stick with this one little. So at the end of the day, he got ready to retire. He had sent his son through business school. He come out with a master's in MBA. And he said, okay, son, I'm turning it over to you. It's going to be yours. Turn what over? He said, the business. Man, I don't want to turn this business. I got a job downtown making $150,000 a year. So I ain't got time to be sitting up trying to run down people for this little business here. He was not a businessman. He did the right thing.
That's unfortunate, and that happens to a lot of businesses that we have. sometimes your children don't look at it as what the future is, and they look at it, well, that was your thing. So I don't want to do that. I want to step above that. Well, then you wind up losing all of these family-owned businesses, and that's kind of happened to the South Side, and the West Side. It used to be a time when I was a kid. I remember my father taking me to a guy on 79th Street, and he would measure me up and make my suit and put something on my shoes. And my father come back in a day or two, and I'd have. That's where I got my clothes.
Right.
We didn't shop at J.C. Penney's and those places. We stayed in the neighborhood.
Well, look, yes, what we're gonna do? We're gonna play a little music.
Okay.
And take a break.
Okay.
And make sure that the audience know that there's still music available.
Okay.
Good music.
Yeah.
Okay. But also look at these products and services that we're offering. We'll be right back after these messages. World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your Pet Shop.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
No, I'm scared.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Every now and then I get that feeling, and I've got something I want to say.
One of the great things about being a vegan is that the uniqueness of it.
And I've got to say it my way.
And so gathered with me today are just a sampling of those vegans who have become loyal supporters of Soul Vegetarian.
Welcome to Soul Vegetarian Restaurant.
Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous? Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling a gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed? Why can I break? Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target?
Why?
Why? I know why. And it has to stop. It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I will make a difference. Because I have a family. Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son. Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters. My life matters. My life matters.
Our lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Okay, we're back, and we're talking about a number of great things, but we're talking around our guest's profession. He's a professional musician, a accomplished musician who played with the Shy-Lights for many years. We're going to talk about a little of that when we hear this good music on TV. Our star, Mr. Shorty. I said Johnny.
Yeah.
Shorty Mac. I started to say Johnny Ace, but I can't give him that much title yet, but he's as good as any star that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know Shorty Mac?
I know who Shorty Mac is. I don't know him personally.
Well, wait till you see this.
Okay.
People, let us know what you think about this young man putting forth all this effort and energy to entertain you, Shorty Mac.
Together for Chicago's own Shorty Mac. Sometimes we have to put a little bass in our voices. You understand? Yeah. Tracy, you got me laughing. Put a little bass in your voice. Live, right here on a Sunday at the Ambrosia Room. Shorty Mac, everybody. Put your hands together one more time.
Let's get up for the love movement, huh? Yeah, non-stop music, do-to-do, toe-to-toe. Music. We're going to do it like this for my main man in the house. We're going to do it like this for all you blues lovers too, huh? Somebody say, yeah! Yeah! That's what we come to do, to lift it up. Babe. Ow. Oh. Oh, I'm itching. And I don't know where to scratch. Come here, baby. Scratch my back. I know you can do it. Put your mind to it. Help me. I can't do it by myself. I need you to help me, baby. I can't do it all alone. I want you to help me, baby, before I find somebody else. Whoa, baby, help me. I can't do it by myself. Help me, baby, before I find somebody else. I want you to help me. I can't do it all alone. Oh, please help me. I can't do it all alone. I said, baby, help me. That's why I'm singing the same old song. Oh, I want you to help me, dirty baby. Oh, baby, help me. I can't do it all alone. Help me, baby. That's why I'm singing the same old song. Oh, I want you to help me right now. Hey, yes, put on your evening gown. Yes, baby, put on your evening gown. Oh, I want you to help me down. Hey, we gonna fit a rain day do all night long. We gonna fit a rain day do all night long. We gonna fit a rain day do. Oh, help me. I can't do it by myself. Help me, baby, before I find somebody else. Oh, I want you to help me all over. Baby, cross down, bring me my night shirt. Go upstairs, baby, bring Shorty's night shirt. Oh, I want you to help me. I can't do it by myself. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty baby, the sounds of my control. When it's all wrapped up in the magic of music all around me, just like a shanty, hey, rolls up. Dip, 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 dip. Pretty dip, 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 dip. Dip, dip, dip. Oh, baby. Baby. Don't do it. Tell you a story. I want to break it down to you. Listen. Baby, don't you want to go to the place because we home Chicago? Born and raised in the city. I can't see you shorty not to gonna have plenty. But trying to hold me back. They forgot one thing I like it like that. Oh baby, if you don't help me, I'm gonna find somebody else. Oh baby, I want you to help me, baby. Wait a minute, I'm in the red top. Yeah, you got me spinning. I went round and round, don't you ever stop. I wanna tell you a story about the things I didn't really wanna know. Oh baby, I know. That's how you sketch that. Listen, I got a kick. She got it. Kick. She got it. This little dog's got time. I'm chasing rabbit. I said, baby, don't you want to go? Baby, don't you ever think about me because I feel that you really want to do the thing that you want to do. I'll tell you something you do. Don't you forget about what you do to me. I said, baby, I like to kick the cheap hat. I like to kick the cheap hat. I like to kick. Wow, the sheet ain't had it. Y'all get up for the click band, huh? Everybody put your hands together for the click. Oh yeah. I got something new for the click that they got to be ready for. I know they're ready. Huh? You ready?
My brother here tonight.
Hey.
Further on up the road. That's a book you got sitting on the table there. He said free base ain't free. Listen, further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, you just wait and see. Love when you're mistreat someone's gonna mistreat you. You got to retouch what you say. I don't say it, it's true. You got to matter. What they call it? Stormy money, baby. The truth is just that bad. 99 years old. When you were, that is all so sad. That's why I can't let me go back on the Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Saturday I go out to play. Lord have mercy. Sunday morning I go to church. And I kneel down on my knees and I cry, my hand for 99 years old. This is what you call a living legend. 99. I remember when Bobby Rush had a song, he said, when I'm not doing time in jail, no flat 99.
Well, you see why I call him my star. You know, we have the love movement.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the next big star on that scene. He knows how to entertain. He sings. He's just all over the place. You know, he can take the music. You playing some music, you can just put some words to it. You think it's a song. You know, it's phenomenal. You know, he reminds me of what they used to call Michael Jackson.
Okay. Well, he definitely is entertaining.
Right.
I enjoyed it.
Right. Well, that's what I wanted to hear from an expert. That's what I wanted to hear from an expert.
All right.
You know? I'm not an expert. Just got expert mind.
Okay.
Expert brain. Expert eyes.
Yeah.
If I keep going, I'll be an expert one.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and tell us your idea of what we talked about so far as the entertainment company we created.
All right. Well, my thing is always been I've been a band leader most of my days here. Well, I say starting back to '85. I came back from Grambling State University, and I've always hired some of the better musicians in the city, I've had remarkable people play with me. I've been able to support my family, my kid. I was a single parent when I started down this path, and I was able to take care of my kid, you know. And I've had some great times. I've played in almost every club here in Chicago. Played with Robert Cornelius, who was Don's nephew.
Right.
We played together for 20 years, and we played Taste of Chicago live on Fox twice in a row in in '98 and '99. We played with Poet Out Pondering. And then apart from that, I've played with Mavis Staples. They were doing a benefit honoring her dad right after he passed, and we're at Fitzgerald's out west, and we were able to tell stories about how Pops affected us, and of course Robert, being Don's nephew, he had his stories about Mom Staples' sweet potato pie, and then I grew up in the neighborhood, and in the early '70s I used to get up every Saturday morning, and I'd take my little push lawnmower and I'd go to Pop Staples' house and I'd cut the grass. Saturday morning, I'm cutting the grass. I was about 8, so I really wasn't good at cutting grass. But I would go and I would just demolish his lawn, and then I would run home. I'd get my bass and the amp. I'd come, I'd plug it in at the door, ring the bell, and Pops would open the door, and I'd say, "I cut your grass, Mr. Staples," and he'd look around and he'd take a deep breath, and then I'd say, "I want to be in the band," and I would play. Boom, 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 boom. Can I be in the band? And he never told me no. He always said, "A little more practice, son. You are almost there." And that kind of encouragement helped me do the things that I did. My mother couldn't afford to buy me a Fender bass back in the '70s. So I went to CVS High School and I made a bass. And I used that bass to go to college. And that's how I learned how to play. I made a guitar. I still have it at home. And I met a lot of people around the world. I went to played at the Mirage Bowl in the '80s when the Fridge was still playing with Clemson, he and his brother. And so it was Clemson against Wake Forest, and Grambling State University was the halftime talent. I played at Yankee Stadium, first time I ever played in front of somebody, and it was maybe 70,000 people there. Grambling
70,000?
Oh man!
Wow.
And it was amazing because you're standing there and you're on that field and you're like, man, like Babe Ruth was here, all these greats, and you're standing on that field is remarkable, And then I came home, and I used to rent out Chicago State University. They have a auditorium theater in their library, and I would hire guys to come, and we put on the show. I'd sell tickets. We'd have a lip sync contest. We'd give away free champagne, and that's how I got started.
Do you have something going now?
Right now, I'm the current bass player with Steve Arrington from Slave, and we've been doing some dates, and he's in the studio right now working on new music, and I have a rock band called American Narcissism, along with a guy named Jay Johnson, and that is some groundbreaking stuff. We've taken it back to the old school because we invented rock music as well. And I have a band called Jabon, which is a contemporary jazz, and that band was nominated for a Grammy. We didn't win, but we were nominated. And that was with Chip Dubois Jr. he and I collaborated on that project. It was called 79th Street. So I got a few irons in the fire, you know.
Well, gotta have one iron in the fire. Gotta have one in the fire. Always gotta keep one in the fire. That's great. You say a few, that means you're thinking.
Yeah.
You're thinking. Because a lot of folks don't know what they're gonna do tomorrow.
Exactly.
Don't know what they've done today.
Yeah.
What'd you do today, man? Well, I forgot. Well, mean you didn't do anything.
Exactly.
Well, we are out of time, and I appreciate you coming
Well,
on.
thank you for
sharing
inviting me over.
your expertise with the audience. Let the audience know where you're going to be, where they can come and see you.
Well, I'm going to be touring with Steve Arrington. So you go to Steve's website, steve.com, and he'll be posting dates of when we'll be back in Chicago.
SteveArrington.com or just Steve.com?
SteveArrington.com. SteveArrington.com. And that you'll be able to, it might be Steve Arrington, the invade.com, but you'll be able to find the dates that we'll be playing. Some of the stuff we're doing is going to be out of the country. We're going to be in the Netherlands, and we've got some dates in London coming up and Japan. And later this year, we're going to do some days over in the Philippines. But we'll be around. I know we're going to be in Dayton. We're going to be in New York. We're going to be in Los Angeles. And hopefully we'll be able to do a show or two here in Chicago before we get all of this other stuff kicked off.
So, we appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on Straight Talk. And you heard where our guests will be. Check them out. And that party you saw on Shorty Mac, that on Lake Street in Melrose Park. Call me and I'll give you the exact address. I think it's 122 Lake Street. 122 Lake Street, Melrose Park, Illinois. See you this time again tomorrow.